Guys, one overlooked tip all the time, and sometimes I even forget to do this thing, is when I'm creating fire and the ground is soaking wet, or I need to protect the fire from the elements and I don't want to set up my shelter type of thing. Downed logs or downed trees are a great resource if we can get the bark off in sheets. Okay, that can be used as an awning or a roof or a ground mat really quickly for us in order to help us make that fire. So in our case, I'm going to take this tree here. I'm gonna take my axe. I'm just gonna cut a square of it out. It's gonna take a second. Peels free. I have that piece of bark now that I can utilize, and I'm gonna show you how we can utilize that really quickly, really easily. So if I was going to create my fire here and the ground is wet, that bark, I can always flip it. The inside, even if it's a little damp, is probably less damp than the ground. So it's a great little plate here that I can put my tinder on and ignite on this. Okay, it's going to keep the moisture from the ground off of our fire itself. The next thing, if you watch enough of my videos, you know I like the stack method, and with the stack method, we always want to use some type of backstop here. That's going to allow, once we have our fire burning and we lay our first layer of sticks over, it's going to allow oxygen flow. Now, if we have a really hard driving rain and we really have to get this fire going, okay, we can take a larger piece of bark in this case, and we can utilize this to protect the rain. So you could see this backhand, it's moving. Let's say this is the direction the rain is coming in at, okay, just like this. I can put this bark here, somewhat of an awning, to help protect my initial fire. So once I get them sparks or my matches in there, and at least to let that start burning and drying out some material. Now to hold that up, the best thing I've found is you just take a very simple Y branch, and then you got to play with this for a second or two. I wouldn't put too much energy or effort into this. Just grab a branch and see how you can get it to work just to hold this thing up however you need to. So in my case, just like that. Okay, now I can work here and I can get that fire started. Once that starts burning, I can move this out of the way really easily. I can still add sticks if I want to grab some sticks. Just here as a demonstration. Once that fire would be burning, I could still feed it right here, and it's somewhat protected. It's adding a little bit of protection to our fire during that initial phase once we get that first open flame. So that's just gonna help us a little bit. This is one thing that people, I think, overlook all the time, is that there's a lot of resources around us that we can utilize to help us get to our end point. We just have to know how to use them, and we need to be able to look at everything around us critically in order to figure out exactly what it is we need at that moment. So definitely bark, it's gonna work. It's gonna be a good option. It's another tool for the toolbox for you. It's a quick, easy tip. It took me seconds to get this bark. If there's a tree around, pulled off of it, and then you can either use it as a platform to build your fire on, or you can use it as a platform and as an awning to protect that initial flame from adverse weather. So this was Dan Wallach of Coalcracker Bushcraft. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. And until the next video, stay in the woods. Keep your fire dry.